This pop-up stroke pop-out card has a very unique twist to it, because we've got a V-fold that helps move the teddy out, and then another one down here which pushes the bottom of the Christmas stocking in and out. Very simple card to make, but really does look spectacular. Again, start off by printing out your backing sheet and then the pop-out sheet here. You'll notice that there's two tabs. I've given you two background papers, the snowy blue one, which comes attached to it here, and then there's the holly one. So if you want to use that backing paper, you'll need to cut this out and just stick it on over there, just to make it look aesthetically pleasing when it's on the background. Okay, and just before I start, again with this one, I've printing onto 180 GSM card, and I've printed straight on with the cover as well, so that that saves a little bit of time when I come to make the base of the card. Righty ho, so the first thing we've got to do is simply cut out these two elements here, so I'll go on and do that. When you've cut the two pieces out, you're ready to make the card, but just before then we've got the scoring and folding to do. Now when you cut this out, you'll notice there's some very light lines on here as guidelines to show you. So I've cut it out, and here are the tabs, and that's fairly obvious, but if you have a look, you'll see there's some very light score line. If I use my scoring tool here, I just run along from the side of the stocking there right the way down to there. Now there's one here, if I can just make note, because it doesn't show up that well, but there's a lovely black guideline to follow. And if I just score that, and just to show you the point, it's where the stocking changes colour here. So if you can't see that, remember you must put a score line in there. And then we've got one coming up the centre of the card here. Just follow that. There we go, and just pop that in. And then we've got the V fold here, so there's one there, you'll see that, a nice white line. One in the middle here, again that doesn't show up, but I'm telling you that's the one to do in there. And last but not least, we've got our tabs here. Incidentally, you don't put any fold on the yellow tab here, keep that as is. But these tabs, by all means, score those, because that's going to help making them fold a little bit easier. So there we go, just go round and do those. That's it. So next thing to do, let's just pop those behind, just squeeze that, a nice crease into there, and the same again there. For that one, and for that one there. So those are the tabs now, they're all folded. And now comes the folding here. So this one we've got here, and that folds out. The one that comes from the edge of the stocking and down, that's a mountain fold that comes towards us like so. And then the one in here, if I can show you in there, that's a valley fold. So you'll need to just bend that over, and I'll squeeze it from behind. Again, it does help if you make some nice strong score lines. And then we've got the middle one here, that's again is a mountain fold that's coming towards us. So I'll just give that a bit of squeeze there. And then we've got the V fold here. This is the bit that pulls the teddy in and out. So I will, first of all, this is a valley fold, the first one there. So I'll squeeze it that way. A mountain fold in the middle there. And then we have our tab there. So that creates that part there. And that's our folding done. It's as simple as that. Just to remember, don't fold the yellow tab, just keep that sticking straight up, because Teddy is going to sit onto that, and it's this V fold here that's going to pull him in and out. We're now ready to stick the teddy bear down, and you can measure if you want from the bottom about 15 millimeters. If you're going to trim the card, don't forget to just come in from that white line there and just pop a pencil mark. This is just as a guide for you, and I'll show you why, because what we've got to do now is put the stocking down here. Okay, so if I have that 15 millimeter guide here, I can just line up the center V fold with it and then put this down, and I know that once that's folded there like that, you don't want the stocking sticking out, but you want it near to the bottom as possible, so when the teddy's in there and he folds down like so, that he's not sticking out of your card there. So we've really got to make sure, if you just rest the elements here like this, that everything's sitting within the card area, because we don't want to spoil the reveal by having any of the elements sticking out. So we're going to glue these parts of the tabs here like so. Now this all fits in. I've got my pencil mark here, I can see where the 15 millimeters was, so I'm going to line up there and with the crease there, and just pull the side of the paper here to 90 degrees, just bring that up so it just nestles in there nicely. Keep the pressure on that and then just push it over, and that way it's going to be in the crease. It should be where it needs to be, which is there. So we've got a perfect fold there. Then we need to do it for the other side. The next thing is to stick this down so that when it opens we obviously get the pop out movement. Now to do that, once we've got that side down and everything's lined up there, we've got to now move that over like so and move that up there like that. Just fold it, it'll naturally fold, so we can see that the toe's now sitting within our area there. And now if you want to just put a little bit of glue on these two tabs here, when you close this, that should align everything up nicely, so when we open it we've got our pop out mechanism working like this. Once you've got those parts stuck down, the next thing to do is to put the teddy bear in, and his body just slides underneath and into the stocking. Now he is pulled up on the yellow tab, so I've put a little bit of glue onto this, and I'm just going to stick him down there, and you can see that what you want to do is line his arm up here with the crease in there. It mustn't go beyond that. It can go a little bit higher, but otherwise if it goes beyond that it'll lock and the mechanism won't work. So just line it up with that part there and then stick him down. And now as we open and close the card, we can see the teddy bear popping his head up out of the stocking and then the stocking coming down to drop below it. So it's a lovely card, this, very dynamic, because the pop-up elements come out of the card both top and bottom. And you can also add some extra elements to Teddy's paw there. He could be holding some mistletoe or a little present, so that could add to it. Just remember that when it's closed, everything's got to be within inside the card so we can't see it, and that's important. So make sure the present sits within the area there, and you'll be fine. A very simple card to make, yet very, very effective.